Hey everyone, it's Teddy, aka JamesKisau on MTGO, coming back for another Friday main series video, Grixis Control on the road to Eternal Weekend, which is now just a few weeks away. And we're in the midst of kind of an insane streak on the channel. I think for the past at least a month, the Friday Grixis Control videos have all been 5-0s. Sorry for spoilers, but I think most of you watch this episodically anyways, as like a weekly TV show or what have you. So yeah, pressure's on. I'm kind of hoping it ends so we can just play like normal and not have this crushing weight since, losing is a big part of Magic. If you're playing a game with only two people, chances are like you'll probably be the loser a lot of the time. And there's nothing wrong with it. On to the more important thing at hand. We're trying to put together the best 75 for Eternal Weekend, and the sideboard has felt very solid. It's mainly the main deck that I've been trying out random, well, not random, well educated and thought out slots, such as Consult the Star Charts, Overlord of the Balemerc, Mainboard Fatal Push, just basically this unending parade of auxiliary threats and answers, trying to find the best balance of things for the meta. This week, we're going to do a lesson in stability and go for a 21st land with Waterlogged Teachings. This is a card that I played quite a bit when Modern Horizons 3 first came out. This card, along with Sink into Stupor, which is similar to Waterlogged Teachings, but it's a blue source that can come in untapped if you pay 3 life. However, it's not quite powerful enough for Grixis Control on a card quality level. It is a 1 blue blue spell that can return a non-land permanent or spell to its owner's hand. I think it can even be... Here, I'll pull it up. Like, Petty Theft can't hit things that you control, but Sink into Stupor, can you remand? No, you cannot. An opponent does need to control that as well. Still, that's what you're going to be using it for 98% of the time, I'd reckon. So, not really a big holdback on the stipulation, but having an additional bounce effect, I think one in the 75 is enough. And to that end, it's also a flash 3-1 beater with flying. And as y'all know, I love cards like that. Flash creatures are crazy good in Legacy, any format really. Something I definitely look for when I build control decks. But yeah, this video is not about Sink and Stupor, it's about Waterlogged Teachings. This is 3 and then hybrid blue or black, incredibly castable in this deck. Search your library for an instant card or a card with flash, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then on the back side, it comes in tapped, but it can tap for blue or black, which are two of the most prevalent colors in this deck. I would say the two most prevalent colors in the deck. It's also a non-island blue source for choke considerations. Doesn't come up incredibly often when they're not also a relentless wasteland strategy, but you never know. You can get in some pretty weird spots if you like extract life from the loam and they've already used most of their wastelands and they have a choke out. Teachings can come in pretty big on the back half, but mostly it's a smoothing agent. Not only can you play it as a land or use it as a spell, depending on what you need, but you can also pitch it to Force of Will, which it has that in common with Lorien Revealed, which is very powerful. So that's what we'll be shooting for this week. Just 21 lands, 19 true lands, and then 2 auxiliary mana sources that have added flexibility. And the flexibility is high with Waterlogged Teachings. A lot of our best cards are instants or have flash, like Force of Will, Orcish Bowmasters. Don't need to say much about that one. Lightning Bolt, if an opponent is at 3 or less. Cling to Dust, if you need to grind. Brainstorm, if you need to fix your hand. Snapcaster Mage, if you need to grind. Kolaghan's Command, if you need to grind. Nimble Obstructionist, if you need to beat a combo deck and Counter Magic's not cutting it. Brazen Barber has flash. Shield's Edict, Merit Lage. When you get to the sideboard, it gets even better. Price of Progress, that's a game ender. Opposition Agent, that is a virtual game ender. Some decks cannot beat it. Surgical Extraction, same thing. Consign to Memory. Tons of great options. I recognize that 4 mana is a lot in Legacy, but I've had it do cool things, and I bet it will do cool things for you too. So that's where we're going this week. The rest of the deck is the same. No Barragoyf this week to accommodate Waterlogged Teachings, because I think I am in on this 2 Kaito situation. It does feel a little strange to go so heavy on 4-drop bombs, but yeah, it's Kaito. It's really good. So that's the deck. We're going to run it through a league, hopefully not trophy. And then let's move on to Grixis Control News. Slogan. Someone on the Patreon recently said, hey, how about this? Grixis Control. It's an art, not a science. It's very cool because a lot of people do point out that I don't often play with empirical clarity. I'm usually going off intuition and potential situations that could arise rather than complete objectivity when I'm taking my lines. And I do try to like preach that. If anyone's seen the How to Play Control series that are also on this channel, I think that is a more sound way to play Magic. But I recognize that, you know, you can try and teach something and not be the best example of it yourself. So I do like that slogan. It's a lot tidier than black to get the job done, blue to make sure it's done right, and red to get it done fast. But I like that one too. That one's really cool in like a t-shirt capacity. And then I also wanted to shout out Eco Baronin, Andreas, fantastic Magic pilot. Speaking of objective clarity, that guy is a competitive beast and recently made 2 videos on Grixis Control. I recommend you checking them out because they're both really cool. I am in one of them and I lost. So it's really cool to see other very high level players pick up the deck and try it out. And then I also wanted to shout out a couple pilots at a tournament. Yes, the Super 8 Etapa for Liga Legacy Jandia. There are 2 pilots on Grixis Control. They both went 3-2. Seems about right. This one is just labeled Grixis, but that's Grixis Control right there. I see Nimble Obstructionist. Yeah, this is, I think, very faithful to one of my lists. 2 Price of Progress. Oh, this looks like the main board Fatal Push iteration, which did go 5-0. And then this other list is correctly labeled Grixis Control and seems to be just about the same, except no mainboard Fatal Push. They got both of them in the sideboard there. 1 Price of Progress. Yeah. Super cool. Glad to see people picking up the deck all across the world. Also, Pio Trail, 5-0 Grixis Control, Hate Egg. I'm just loving it. Glad people are enjoying the deck. I think it's really easy to get into a mindset of, oh, this deck is not at the top of the meta, therefore it's not good, when there's really a lot of room for, if not creative expression, then at least creative line taking and legacy. And hopefully this channel has been a testament to that. I've been doing just fine on Grixis Control for many years now. So yeah, if you don't like Grixis Control, but you like another deck that is similarly strange but does powerful things and is keeping up with the times, go for it. You have my endorsement and encouragement and support. Okay, cool. Let's hop into the league. I feel like this intro has been a little longer than normal. We're almost at 2,000 subs. Please help me do that. It would be a great milestone. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. There's still 1 slot available at the top tier. Let's hop in there. All right, let's get this underway. Hand looks pretty good. A very divine spell to land ratio. 3.5 lands to 3.5 spells. And relieved to see Basic Island pass. And that was a great draw too. Alright, let's see what's going on. If it's Reanimator, it's going to be... Oh, Minor Misstep? Interesting. It'd be very, like, hard to want to take Atraxa or Archon if it's stuck in their hand, since they could reanimate it on their turn. But I have this reanimate as well. It's not what's going on. Minor Misstep shows up in pretty random spots. Quantum Riddler. What is going on? That would be a great card to reanimate. They'll just cycle that for now. Land is not great. Pretty set on those. I'll just continue looking like Reanimator unless I need to bolt this turn. Hedge Maze. So they're playing green as well? Bant. Ponder. Resolves. Do they have no white mana, or do they already have a Swords to Plowshares, I wonder. I don't think Murktide is going to go all the way or anything, but it could be pretty good. I'll keep Bowmasters. Should be pretty solid against a Quantum Riddler deck. Trying to not reveal any red here. Maybe hardcasting Lorien revealed is the way to go. Quantum Riddler again. I mean, yeah, I'll play Bowmasters here. They're not showing any white. Seems like they have a Force of Will. They thought about that for a minute. Now they have 2 Riddlers in exile, which is pretty nuts. It's a lot of card advantage. Oh, they're going to consign that trigger. Alright, now we're just dealing with this. Edict was a good draw. Yeah, we'll do it. There's the Force, pitching stock up. I could make a 5/5 Murktide Regent. That doesn't seem insanely good. I can wait. White mana online. They might just be casting another Quantum Riddler, I guess. That's not great against Bowmasters. Spara's headquarters. Life from the Loam, sure. No attack. Is Bolt gonna have any targets? I think I'm just gonna Bolt them. Power out this Murktide. Or I could just cast Lorien Revealed, I guess. That seems better. Got a Force of Will. Force pitch Murktide seems probably like the right thing to do. Mystic Sanctuary for swords. Yeah, I imagine they want to swords the Bowmasters. I'll force. Ponder. I might be able to really take advantage of Quantum Riddler here. If I find something to add to the board. Yeah. I'll cling that Loam while I'm at it. Tameo. Then reanimate. I'll draw 2. Wait, did I know one of those was there? I might have screwed up. Might have missed out on casting another cantrip. They'll draw Plow. They have a land in hand. Hopefully not much more. Brainstorm. They're a little choked on the white mana. But not that much. Ooh, Strix, that's a good one. We'll attack with these 2. Then I'll cast Brainstorm. Tapping out for Force. Alright, activate a Clue. Kaito. Don't really want to ninjutsu that back to their hand. So I guess I'll just cling Force of Will. It's a land. That's still unblocked, so they go to 6. We're almost there. Well, plus. Unfortunately, on their draw step, they'll draw 2, which is totally messed up. And couldn't put it together from there. Good. Definitely take my 2 red blasts. I also am really tempted to bring in Price of Progress, even though we saw like quite a few basic islands. They're playing 3 colors and like Loam and swords and stuff. Like, how much can they really afford to play around Price of Progress? Definitely want from the Catacombs. Opposition Agent. Often against bans, you'll be the aggressor. I'm fine trimming a Badlands. And it's kind of funny to say that you're the aggressor and then side down on Lightning Bolt, but it's just kind of your lowest value card a lot of the time. I think Kolaghan's command is a little clunky, especially when they start relying on stuff like Hydroblast. Murktide Regent, not good against Swords to Plowshares. And then I'm tempted to side out Reanimate, but Quantum Riddler is just such a good target. I should probably cut this Price of Progress. It's not very good. Oh, let's cut Nimble Obstructionist until we see something like, I don't know, Tameo. Yep, this hand is pretty ideal. We'll keep. Spar's Headquarters tapped. Alright. Force of Will. Keeps getting better. I do need a third land for this ninjutsu. But then beyond that, we are in great shape. Guess I'll take one of the forces, because the swords shouldn't really matter. Tundra. Okay, well there's a land, kind of. But it's probably a better pitch to force. I'm not going to give up on the turn 3 ninjutsu. I mean, they could swords the army and Bowmasters, but they probably really don't want to do that. If I just spike a land off the top, it will be a reality. Loam. That's fine. They must have Uro, right? Nothing else really makes sense here. Or maybe Wasteland? Alright, begging for a land. We knew that was going to happen, that's fine. We can still ninjutsu if I just draw a land. Oh man, I have all the kind of not really lands right now. That's a heartbreaker. At the same time, they're not really incentivized to sword this army token, so we might still get away with it here. God, it was so close. Probably don't need a second edict though. Let's cling that loam. Make a land drop. Hit for 1. We're in a very good spot. If they draw a threat, they won't have a blue card for force. Ottawara. I could surveil or guarantee a land drop next turn. I don't think that's necessary. I think I'll have a lot of ways to guarantee land drops. Bend the Lightning Bolt. Thoughtseize. Alright, let's get to going. Okay, they did not swords. I think they were likely supposed to. Swords does not do much going forward. Yep. Bend Cling, take Mire, play Mire, get a basic swamp. Thoughtseize you. Take force again. It's essentially over. Very clean. Welcome back. It's the following day. Gonna try and get to match number 2 here. Double force hand, count it. All my colors, blue, red, and black. Shout out, dear jurist. Huge fan. Thank you so much. That's so kind to say. Okay. I was like, is this the mirror? Not a bad draw. Typically I'll keep these cards. Bolt would have been the most desirable find, I think, but yeah, we'll make do. I think I'm always playing Badlands next turn as well, so let's do that. I want to force Quarry Steel Cutter and force again if they force backward days. Okay. We're getting some relief here. Binning Brazen Barber. I'm pretty sure even the new Quarry Steel Cutter lists still have that classic one of Brazen Barber that we also have adopted pretty much since the card was printed. Are we about to see Delirium happen? I think so. It's like solid Delirium too. I was wondering if I should play Cling next turn, and it does play around days, which I think is important, but I might not even be playing around Daze the following turn. I could see if they wanted to Daze Brainstorm. Oh, never mind. I think I'm playing Strix. I can't take them off Delirium. And they did just bin Chain Lightning. They'll have 4 cards in hand after this Ponder resolves. If we assume one of them is Wasteland, which is not great, of course, but we will work through our Ponder by resolving Strix. Oh, I forgot about the dang bubble. Yeah, 5 cards is kind of a lot. What choice do I have? Is there any way I'm dodging Daze here? Yes. Well, that's a relief. We'll force back. Alright, low resources it looks like we're going towards. They're forcing my force. If they Daze after all this, that would be insane. Alright. And what did they put on top? I guess not Quarry Steel Cutter. And I hope not Wasteland, but not counting on it. Murktide Regent. Now I need to hit like an untapped land pretty much. I could hit Edict. There are some ways through this, but it's not going to be easy. Not Bolt. Not Force of Will. I'm going to Cling now, just in case I hit a cantrip. Okay, nice. I hope it works. If they play like Delver or Dragon's Rage Channeler, I'll have Bolt. It's definitely sketch. Land makes this fairly safe. Quarry Steel Cutter. Have to deal with that one later. Don't really want to. I will make my bid at stabilization. Hopefully dodge Wasteland. Hopefully dodge the creation of a monk as well. They miss on the Surveil, that's good. They could also play a Murktide Regent, but they wouldn't have the mana to equip it. No, not Wasteland. So now I need a red source. It was supposed to be so simple. Reanimate. Sure. Go to 5. Nimble Obstructionist. Oh god. True pain. Here's step 1. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yep. Sure. I should really bolt that. I'm not going to play around another Wasteland either, right? I think that would just be silly. If I top deck a basic land, I do not want it to preclude me from dealing with this Quarry Steel Cutter. I think that'd just be insane. Alright. A little dangerous to do that on the draw step, though. But there's nothing better to do. So, sure. I lose to Bolt. I suppose that means I should Cling instead. And if they make a monk, I guess I'll just dispatch it with my additional mode. Yeah, I guess I'm getting a swamp. I don't know. No. Like that. Well, that was the best possible draw, I think. Unless they somehow don't find an additional castable spell, but that seems unlikely. My hope is that they do, but it's not very good, but they're tricked into keeping a bad Ponder, so they can make a monk token. That also doesn't seem very good. Like, if they're looking at Lightning Bolt right now, they might even Bolt Strix. Yeah, they shuffle off that Ponder. I hope they hit a land. Wow. That was glorious. What luck. Alright, we're doing this immediately. Nice. Alright, I believe we've stabilized. Preordain. One top, one bottom. Brainstorm. They kind of need to build up cards in hand, because if they just drop a Murktide out, I could just, you know, Snap Edict it. Bowmasters. It's a little tricky. Guess I'm just hanging out. My mana is not great. Ponder, sure. Giving him a clue does not feel great. Just gonna counter that. Takes care of Tamio. Denies them a card draw. Feels even enough. I draw a card because of cycling. It's good stuff. Bobble. Don't really want to cast this Thoughtseize, but it might not be a bad idea. Take your Bobble. Hit for 1. Alright, Cling. Brainstorm, I guess. No days. There we go. That should punch a hole. Don't really have any Force of Wills. We'll bin both. Bolt was good. Passing. Can't really let my guard down since they have 2 cards in hand. Could be Bolt Bolt. Edict. Okay. Now they're at 8. Bolt Snap Bolt. Might get over the line. Take a Brainstorm. Bin Tamio. Yep, just gotta be careful here. Triple Bolt, I don't think we're beating. But it looks like they do not have that. Cast Brainstorm. Okay. I think I can fire a Bolt here and still not lose to like a weird daze. They only have 2 cards in hand. I'm being too careful. I just don't really feel like I can tap out. Tap down Tamio. Hit for 3. Bolt you. Bolt me. Resolves. Ha, good one. I mean, I was prepared, but that would have made a pretty exciting game. I don't love Fatal Push in the matchup, just because Fatal Pushing a Monk token is terrible. We got pretty lucky that game that they only found 1 Cutter. Cutter generates a lot of card advantage, and it's a little harder to deal with than Monastery Mentor for whatever reason. It doesn't make mentors as easily as Monastery Mentor, but or it doesn't make monks as easily, but somehow it still feels a lot scarier. We can cut, reanimate, and Thoughtseize. We don't need to voluntarily lose life. Not having Barragoyf is very bad in this matchup. Pretty much only this matchup, I would say. Barragoyf is a slam dunk against red decks. Waterlogged Teachings, not so much. I'll take a couple Red Blasts and a Nile Spellbomb and cut some of the big blue stuff. I don't cut Waterlogged Teachings, though. I could trim Tamio as well, but I think I'll keep it around. Could be Murktide or Kaito. Probably should be one of those. How about Murktide? Kaito's more likely to get a better trade. Okay, no stable black yet. And this is a lot worse now that they don't play Delver. But the land to spell ratio is divine. Hoping to dodge Dragon's Rage Channeler here. Excellent. Bobble. Bobble. We might have sights on Tamio here if they don't activate these bobbles. Try Red Blast. Okay. No days. Yeah, I'm thinking they almost certainly cash those in now. This also kind of seems like they don't have Quarry Steel Cutter in their hand. Bobble's super good at triggering Cutter. Wasteland, look out for that one. They must have just drawn that. I think I'll pitch one of the Ponders. Ooh, it worked. That is fantastic news. Cast Ponder. Yep. This is really good. Just in case they do something weird and make me shuffle. Kolaghan's Command is kind of the non-negotiable card here. Activating this land makes me feel like they have Murktide Regent. Interestingly, it's only a 3/3 right now. That could very well change. So Nimble Obstructionist would actually be able to ambush it. I'm going to cast a Brainstorm. Put back Scalding Tarn. And... Sorry, I just hit the mic. I guess Nimble Obstructionist. But I don't love it. I'd rather keep it. Alright, I'll take 3. Ideal scenario is that they play Dragon's Rage Channeler and like nothing else. They're pretty flooded for Delver. Tamiyo is kind of a problem, but maybe they'll interact with some Bowmasters. If they stifle, I guess I'll just draw that Scalding Tarn. Play Bowmasters. Ping my opponent. Bowmasters takes a bolt. That's weird. I feel like their last card might be Red Blast. Let's attack. They're in a really tough spot. If they block, I could play Bowmasters and beat Tamiyo in combat. If they don't block, they risk letting Kaito enter the battlefield without enough bait for K-Command. Haha, of course. Well, I don't want to influence the game here too much. But yeah, this lets Kaito in, and they don't have the power on board to beat it. I'm going to hold the land. Don't think I need Kolaghan's Command number 2. Let's see if I was right about Red Blast. Just trying to run them out of cards. If they have another Murktide, that would actually be kind of tough. Okay. Yep. That much was expected. Best draw, I think, would either be Lightning Bolt or Red Blast. They get to grind back into this too. It's not great. Force of Will's okay. Play Strix. Hopefully hit one of those cards. We do. That's great. It's gotta be Tamiyo. Uh-oh. Hydroblast? Jeez, that's tough. I was prepared to force a Brainstorm. I don't know if I'm gonna force Hydroblast, though. This seems bad. I might not get another target, though. I don't want them drawing too many more cards. And then it's going to be hard to decide whether I want to hold Kolaghan's Command for Quarry Steel Cutter. I don't have that luxury anymore. I'm getting beat down. So I suppose I better do something about it. Now what's their last card? Super light on black. I hope it's Red Blast. Could be Daze. Force of Will. Okay. Makes sense why they wouldn't wasteland me then. I promise you it's pretty good though. Well, I guess this not being a black source, it doesn't matter that much. At 5. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, well, that one's not as exciting, but... Nice. Stonewalled. Let's not grow this thing, because Bolt is a good draw. I'll exile Wasteland. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm being very annoying. I'm taking Red Blast. Bolt can answer other things. Not that I'm likely going to be flashing back pretty much anything else. Okay. Multiple Hydroblasts. Important to take note of that. Land for them. Probably not what they wanted. Brainstorm for me. That's what I wanted. I'm not going to play around Mystic Sanctuary. Clearly I have Bowmasters, but I don't know. Maybe they'll block. But if the card they have is Daze, and they think they can stop Kaito from coming in, then, like, I don't know, it's pretty bad for them if I get Snapcaster Mage back for yet another trigger. Well, might as well look. Negative. I probably don't need 2 copies of Bowmasters. Now they'll probably Surveil. Uh-oh. They put a card on top. It's a very big relief that Murktide's not just one-hit shit here. Sure. Maybe they'll block Snapcaster Mage next turn if they think I don't have Bowmasters. That pause probably gave it away, though. Like, it was probably just correct to play Bowmasters there. I feel like these games are won on the backs of small decisions like that, or like nickel and diming the life total. They do only have 1 card in hand, though, so I can safely cling and not worry about Bolt. But yeah, growing Murktide is undesirable, so going after the land again. Get another land. Get another Strix. Alright. Brainstorm. Not great. Play Tamiyo. Attack with Snapcaster Mage, I guess. Double Bolt is now live to be my undoing. Ponder's good. No shuffle. An equipped Quarry Steel Cutter would not be much better, honestly. Clue token. Block with Strix. Could they go land Bolt? They've not played a land yet. Jeez. I think we do play Bowmasters here, right? Or is my Facade just cracking? That's tricky. I think my Facade is cracking if I let that happen. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Can I take them off Delirium? Yeah, they only have 1 land left. And they're tapped out. This is sketch. Part of me would be pretty relieved if they dazed this. Quite honestly. Okay, Force of Will really lightens the mood, I will say. Bolt, nice. They already used 2 bolts. Gonna just have to believe here. They do have a force. I think that's okay. As telegraphed. Yeah, I guess so. Didn't think about that, though. Maybe going to 2 doesn't matter. Well, let's see what they surveil, because if they get Delirium anyways, doesn't matter. They put a card on top. That is honestly worse. But I have 2 blockers now, so I guess I'm forcing back. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. No, this doesn't work, though. What if they use Tamiyo to get Bolt back? I could cling. But what did they put on top? Another Bolt? I mean, if they put Daze on top, that would be pretty, like, unhinged, right? I could just cling creature, gain 3 life, and make them have their last 2 bolts exactly. Or it wouldn't even need to be 2, because Tamiyo is another bolt right there. I don't think they put Daze on top. I don't think they did. I think I played this a little loose. I was a little loose with my life total. Okay, Tamiyo's going up. That's good. But yeah, I can't blink. Spellbomb? Alright, Bolt. Cast Spellbomb. Attack. Yeah. I'd love to get out of bolt range. Not sure if that's doable. I could flip my own Tameo and say to hell with playing around bolt for the rest of the game. I don't think it's realistic to hold up that much mana. Thoughtseize. Just what you want to see. Okay. Oh, Quarry Steel Cutter. Oh, Ponder. I don't like that. Ponder Shuffles, I like that. Ping you. Bolt me? Damn it. The old Ponder Shuffle hit Lightning Bolt. I've done that before. Opponent still needs to win another game in under 3 minutes. This might not reach its natural conclusion, but we can always hope. I don't know. You could argue Thoughtseize lost me that game. Wait, did I ever Thoughtseize them? I think I did, right? Maybe I didn't. Certainly a lot happened. And yeah, I think I played a little too recklessly, wanting to trade cards and get them down. And we got them to super low resources, but letting them have that Tameo was such a mistake. They won with no cards in hand. They could have had 1 or 2 less cards if I just stopped Tameo. Hi. Silly of me. You learn this lesson like many times over, you know? There is a Force of Will. 2 Lightning Bolts is very good. We might not play the game though, so mulligan. Oh my god, no. This is insane. Go to 5. Keep, I guess. Bottom Badlands and Kolaghan's Command. Name of the game is Don't Die. Yeah, looking good. I should try to refrain from casting Tameo until I can hold up Brainstorm, which I guess is next turn, but then I'd lose out on a 3rd land. I mean, I feel like those come naturally anyways. I don't think they have time to play a Tameo game. I think they really wanted to play Dragon Rage Channeler there. Play Tameo. Going to combat. Making a clue. I will block symbolically. Brainstorm. You got it. I'll do the same thing on my turn, if I'm not stopped. Plus Thundering Falls, no untapped red source. That's pretty big. Spinning Ponder. Okay. So now I get my land and eat it too. -1. Cool. Cast Brainstorm. Spellbomb. Is that actually better than just playing a land though? I mean, probably. If they make moves towards Murktide, I don't want them to have that. Or I mean, cracking a clue token might be better. How do they make Murktide next turn? Fetch would not do it. Bobble. I have Edict anyways. Yeah, if they like put a lot of work into doing that, I think that's fine. Even though Edict on Tameo is probably better in the long run. Quarry Steel Cutter? Yikes. But no follow-up. Merciful. Let's get these colors online. Activate this clue token. I probably don't have time to play a Tameo game, but the +2 is actually kind of relevant when you're talking Quarry Steel Cutter, Nimble Obstructionist. That's really good against the Tameo ultimate. Yeah, grab Ponder. Cast Ponder. Shuffle that. Shit. Well, that's a big-ass bummer. If I knew I wasn't going to hit a land, I would have just plussed. Bowmasters. Daze? Not good. No. I wonder if they just need to attack me. No, they probably attack Tameo. The +2 is way too annoying. They don't shuffle. And they have a DRC. I should have played around days. That was awful. Land? It was one card away. That's usually how it goes, though. Land, brainstorm. Probably looking for counter magic. Seeing if I have Bowmasters. Spinning Wasteland. I don't think they're going to be able to get me from 18 to 0 without a Murktide Regent in 20 seconds. Oh, they're trying to cast a Murktide. They're going to run out of time. That's a damn shame. What would I have drawn? They're not going to let me see. They might even be saying something right now, but sometimes the chat goes away when the game match is over. So let's say they ultimate Tameo, have a Murktide Regent, I cycle, stop the ultimate. Probably should have, if the clock wasn't a consideration and I actually had to play to survival, I think I would have played Spellbomb last turn to keep them off Murktide. Yeah, things just got weird, as they always do with the chess clock. But I think I really screwed up game 2. We should not have lost that one. Okay. Alright. I'm back from practice, queuing into round 3 of this league with a very fair hand. But if I'm up against the same matchup as last round, like Delver, this would be pretty good. Tundra, I'm less certain, but I mean, I can bolt that Tameo. Tundra is a little less likely to also mean Wasteland, so we could be in okay shape. This might be Cephalid Breakfast. Land is a pretty underwhelming draw. I'm gonna bolt this. Off of Badlands. Opponent will force will pitching Narcomoeba, so yeah, this is almost certainly Cephalid Breakfast. Let's see what the follow-up is. Do they just not really have any action beyond that? I'll be able to take another crack at this thing next turn. Never mind, they have a Brainstorm. So they really want to go after that ultimate, it looks like. Hedge Maze. Spinning Nomads? It's very strange. Damn. The draws have been poor. I'll play Bowmasters in response. Getting a 2-power creature on board seems very good. They might have a Swords to Plowshares. Let's get it out of the way. Oh, apparently not. Ponder will shuffle. Kind of nice. Nomads. I've lost my removal spell for Nomads specifically. I can still snap Bolt. I also have a Bolt here. I don't think they're going to block. But if they just slam Nadu, it's so bad. No block is pretty predictable. I wish I could Bolt Tameo. I don't think I can, which I guess means I'm just playing Baleful Strix out. Although adding more stuff to the board is also pretty attractive. With more than 1 power, that is. Kaito. Okay, they do shuffle. That is nice. If they reach for that Force of Will with Tameo, I'm bolting Nomads right away. Because I think that means they have Nadu. But they're going up. Ooh, more Nomads? It's kind of concerning. Because I would have lost to Cephalid Illusionist. This Tameo is saving them a lot of life. I can't really tap out for Kaito. Does that mean I should just put damage on Tameo next turn? Continue to hold up Lightning Bolt? Probably. It's not great. I wish I could spend my mana right now. I don't think Bull is actually that good. Another rough draw. I think I just need to dodge. Attack Tameo with both of these. Take that Strix back. Puts a blue card in my hand. Tameo's finally at 1. They did not take any damage. Ooh, that was a mistake. Shoot, I screwed up. Damn. Ugh, I'm getting too distracted. Just gotta bluff my ass off here. Not an enviable position. Draw a card. Well, deals with Tamio. Don't think it will matter if they just slam Nadu. Or Illusionist. They have a Cavern. They didn't have it last turn. Doesn't mean much. Oh, it's Tamio. That is an amazing relief. Damn, these lands. I'm not drawing well, but my opponent's not drawing well either. I'd be willing to trade Bowmasters for Nomads here, so... But is that attack futile? They can just transfer the damage onto Tamio. No block. I'll have to hit for 7. It's not nothing. I need to like cling to dust basically, because that Cavern is gonna help them combo. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go top, and then probably should snap bolt this Tamio on their upkeep. So if they brainstorm in response, my Bowmaster triggers can get Tamio out. They're gonna brainstorm now. Now I can just take out the Nomads. I do it now because I'll have to assign triggers as soon as this brainstorm resolves. Is there any flash creature that can screw this up for me? Not out of this deck. So yeah, we'll just do one target there. Okay, Swords Bowmasters. So that means their brainstorm probably didn't see Shuko Illusionist or Nomad's Illusionist, etc. They have a Nadu. They'll have to block with that. Do I want to take a risk and tap it down and go for the win? Nah. Do this the old-fashioned way. Best case scenario, they're going to 3. Okay, cool. That Tamio got them a lot of life that game too. I'll take Fatal Push just because sometimes Bolt is not adequate to address Nomads on core or Nadu. I mean, I don't want to Fatal Push Nadu either. I want to counter it. I want to Thought Seize it. I want to extract it. Still don't think I would want a third Thought Seize on the draw though. Trim one of these Badlands? No, it should be the Mountain. Yeah. Meltdown is really not that bad. Or is this Saga and all that? Murktide Regent can go. Narset is a little slow. But I mean, this deck does draw cards. It's just a little difficult to protect Narset sometimes in this matchup. We've got flying threats. And it serves you to be a little more reactive. Creature combo decks in general are good places for Grixis to really show off its stuff. So yeah, how about Strix, 1 Force of Will, and then maybe Tamio? Maybe Kolgunk. No, you do need ways to kind of get them empty. Consign to Memory is also a consideration, but I don't think it will trade for enough stuff. Sure, I'll keep Tamio in. Let's trim the Narset. Aside from the Tamio Ultimate, it's not like the most drawing cards forward deck. This hand's good. It might lose to Daze if an emergency brainstorm doesn't go in our favor, but all the other cards are quite good. If they have a turn 2 Goldfish, yeah, backed up by Daze, that would be bad. If they have a turn 3 Goldfish, Nimble Obstructionist will probably catch them off guard. It often does. They have a play. It is Ponder. Okay. No turn 2 Goldfish. They would have had to play Shuko or Nomads there. And also no Tamio is a bit of a relief. It's always rough when Breakfast gets on board in turn 1. It's not what it used to do, although it was always capable of doing so. Rainforest, Tamio. I wonder if they're going to brainstorm right now when I shuffle. Or fetch? No. Yeah, we'll keep that. Pretty safe here, for the most part. I'll Red Blast now. I've still got Cling to Dust for the super fast Goldfish here. Force and Negation, yeah, they've both games in a row have gone super hard on protecting Tamiyo with a 2-for-1. I hope I can punish that. And they're binning their backup Tamiyo. Making a clue. Urza's Saga, it's a good one. Pithing Needle, Resolves. They have a lot of artifacts. Those constructs are going to be really big. Wish I had Meltdown now. I guess I could Stifle Chapter 2 and just be like really shields down. They only have 2 cards left. Cast Brainstorm. We don't hit per se. Kind of needed a land there. I think we'll be okay. Cast Ponder. Yeah, we'll shuffle. Perfect. I'm gonna try and bolt that again. The constructs will be tough. I think we can do it. Bolt. Okay. Land. Pass. Okay, now I'm drawing too many lands. It's so funny how that balance gets upset. Send it back. The balance is a little too delicate, I would say. But that's just part of playing a control deck. You're often winning on the thinnest margins possible. Alright, I really hope they make a construct here. They do. Kolaghan's Command can deal with both of these. It's not a clean trade with Saga, because they get an artifact left over. They'll daze? I hope they don't have 2 dazes. I'll pay. Ooh, are they about to win? No. A lot of playing against Cephalid Breakfast is bluffing. Damn, these lands. Well, I guess I can start cantripping with Cling. Obviously, it's more effective when it's a surprise and they don't expect graveyard interaction, but I don't think I really have a choice. Nadu would be really bad, but they don't have it. That is frankly a miracle. Alright, none of these are very relevant for Memory's Journey. I'll hit Daze. Damn it. It's a curse. I requested a land and now it's all I'm getting. If the cards in my hand weren't so powerful, it'd be a real problem. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I mean, it would take a lot more land drops before I'm comfortable casting that thing on the hard cast, but I guess it's something to look forward to. I'd rather have a Force of Will, unless they drop Cavernous Souls. Or like an Edict. Oh god. That is not very good. But yeah, they just aren't doing it. So it's possible I could have cast Lorien Revealed last turn, which is insane. Destroy this artifact. Force of Will. Sure. Damn. Fuck this. I've had it. If I lose because of this, I won't even be mad. I'm just like upset with the amount of lands I'm drawing. Reanimate? Nah, I should hold up Fatal Push. It won't do me a lot of good though if they drop Nadu. But if they play Illusionist, I'll at least not lose through days. Sure. Really cool to cast Lorien Revealed and not hit a single land though. I mean, I've already drawn the lands, so I think that's fair. Still nothing. Opponent is either cautious or has a lot of reactive cards. Yep, okay. I think that'll fail to find, right? Well, there's a swamp left, I think. Yeah. Cast Ponder. Okay, nice. Kaito's not much more than a beater right now, but I really want this Edict. And I'm not really dealing with that Pithing Needle either, seeing as I didn't cite in Meltdown. I'd have to wait for Snapcaster Mage to flashback Kolaghan's command, or bounce it with Brazen Borrower. Or Petty Theft. And yeah, Reanimate has no good targets. Slow game. Gosh, I feel like I need Kolaghan's command, or Thoughtseize or something. Something's not adding up here. All of my mana producing lands will be out once I get the swamp out. No swords? Yeah, something is not right with this picture. I guess I will not draw Kaito. Cling the Ponder. Bad news, I've only fetched 4 times, so... Oh, there's Snapcaster Mage. Again, I think it's better to be reactive here. Deadly curious what's in their hand. Swords? Okay, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. You got it. Cast Ponder. Daze. I will pay. We must really want that Surveil. Brainstorm can shuffle, but there's no land to get, so it's not that attractive of a proposition. Double Nomads, Force of Will. Yeah, I'll take the Force, I think. Will I? It's the most potentially problematic. No, I should take a Nomads. Maybe I can put my own Nadu combo together. Because my opponent has not really been doing what they want, it seems like. Archive Bin's Shuko. Opponent almost did something and then stopped. I'm drawing Brainstorm. Let's get these beats going. Do this while they don't have a hard cast Force of Will up. You discard, destroy Shuko. I think they usually only run 2 of those. So that should be the last Shuko. They discard Force. So they got Nomads and 1 unknown. I wonder what it is. Cast Brainstorm. Guess I'll do that again next turn. Maybe I have enough Brainstorms to just continually put the lands on bottom of my deck. There's only 1 more after the one next turn. Rainforest. Yeah, geez. I do not envy my opponent right now. It is unfortunate. Pedal to the metal. Brainstorm again. Yep. Alright, yeah, we're just going to bounce Pithing Needle. There's got to be some Force of Wills coming up too. It's crazy how I haven't seen a single one. I cited 1 out, to be fair. Snapcaster Mage back. This just goes positive in many ways. Bin Bloodstained Mire. It will fail to find. And then I don't need to put a Nadu Nomads combo together. It's really silly, in fact. That was even worse. My deck is mostly Force of Wills now. Brainstorm is fine. Opponent's probably looking at Straight Fire, or either that or it's like Dread Return Oracle Memories Journey in their Brainstorm. Things have not been going super great for them. Yep. Hanging on to that Pithing Needle. Naming Kaito is like, yeah, it's unfortunate to lose like the card advantage and everything that comes along with Kaito, but also just attacking as a 3/4 is pretty sweet. We've got one card left. I think we ought to go for it. Okay. Yeah, not the most competitive showing from Cephalid Breakfast, but every deck does have its own fail rate. Wow, we are 3-0. This is going pretty good. All right, folks, time for round 4. Up against Trophy Leader and a buddy of mine, Lons NL. I think they're the Trophy Leader. Oh yeah, by a considerable margin, 17. Ton of trophies. They're keeping 7. I'll also keep 7. This hand is not bad. Blue Delta. Wonder what they're up to. They're usually just grinding the best deck. Sure, I'll hold up Brainstorm. They'll activate Undercity Sewers, Spinning an Underground Sea. Well, it can't be Reanimator then. They usually keep their Surveils unless it's Atraxa or the other one. And yeah, this is all checking out. That's another Glyph. When will I have time to brainstorm ever again? Do it now. I think I'm pretty comfortable playing Baleful Strix next turn. If it baits out Bowmasters, I have Bowmasters. So what am I shuffling away potentially? I think it's too greedy to shuffle away maybe anything. I mean, I could just play a Swamp and draw through the Brainstorm. I don't think that's honestly a bad thing. Reanimate is just fine in this matchup. Well, okay, here we go. Play Strix. They're gonna daze it. There are advantages to this. A lot of pain too, but there are some advantages. So I'm gonna draw Reanimate next turn. I could Reanimate Strix. Just saying. Might want to bolt this Netherglyph. Never feels good. Instant is already in the graveyard. What kind of messed up shit could they do to make it a 3/4? They could cast Bowmasters and target Bowmasters with it. Will they really want to do that? I don't know. I feel like no. But if they surmise rather correctly, unfortunately, that Netherglyph is like their best card against me. Maybe I can get them to Bowmaster? If I cast this here, Ponder. No, they did not budge. I guess I'll take another one. I feel like I'm missing something obvious. There's no Street Wraith. There's no Fairy Macabre. Ugh. Okay, cool. There is Petty Theft, so I feel like reanimating this Netherglyph would be pretty sick. Except not. I really want to reanimate Strix, but I don't know. They probably have Bowmasters. And like, it's okay for Strix to get hit with the Bowmasters after it resolves and draws you a card, but I don't think it's okay for Strix to get poached by Bowmasters. Although it would bait out Bowmasters, and I could play Bowmasters. They'd have a 2/2. The 2/2 is kind of a problem. I need to spend my mana. Play Strix. Oh, they're gonna hardcast Daze? Okay, sure. Well, never feels great when you get got by 2 Dazes, but I mean, I guess that means their hand isn't the craziest thing. Looks like they have a Murktide Regent. So another Glyph is gone. That is a relief. More Bowmasters is cool. Let's start with Edict. They're gonna fight to protect this one. Cast Ponder. Yeah, looking good. We'll get this Murktide out of here eventually. Let's make a land drop. They're down to 2 cards, only 2 lands. They've got to have another land in there, right? I hope so. Brainstorm, yep. So unless they want to get stuck with these cards, they do have to make a land drop, which would put them back down to 2 cards. I just don't want them to get more threats out, essentially. I think I could deal with a Tameo. Or I could tolerate a Tameo, I think is more true. Okay. Let's surveil. Yep. Keep that. First order of business will be Kolgon's command. Shock Netherglyph and get back Strix. Can't have them discard. Be too easy for everything to get ruined. I have another Strix or Force. I could top deck Bolt. They're brainstorm locked. It doesn't really matter. How about that? Can't force blue card from one card, can you? Okay. We are holding them back. I kind of want to double Bowmaster the Netherglyph, then have sights on Murktide again. Triple Bowmasters. Glad they pitched that Brazen Barber, but if they ever find another one, that would be bad. Okay, number one. I thought they were gonna brainstorm in response first. Number two. Force of Will, pitching Kaito. Okay. Okay, that works too. Bolt. Edict. Don't you dare play Bowmasters. Getting the ouch. Okay, they're going to push Bowmasters in response. This is a 2-turn clock. And they drew Wasteland. Beautiful. Sometimes the best answer is just a bigger creature, or having the biggest creature on board. Which is more how I view cards like Murktide and Baraglyph. They're not like... I mean, they are great at closing the game, but, you know, closing the game is never really what you're looking to do with Grixis Control, if that makes sense. You want to win as efficiently as possible, of course, but it's more like sometimes the only answer is board supremacy. Lons does bring up a good point. Oh, 3 Force of Wills to my 0 while on the play. They didn't have the cards to keep up and close out the game. Although I will say at the time, the Force of Wills were like the last thing I wanted to see. I wanted them to continue having to spend mana to continue to get on board, and the fact they were getting to stay on board while not spending any mana was very bad for me. So I do think the draw was pretty ideal on their side, but I was fortunate enough to rip Murktide Regent. Murktide Regent. Okay. Let's try and dial it in a little bit. I think Red Blasts are good, obviously. Fatal Push are really good. Murktide is good. We'll have to contend with Baraglyphs too. I don't really like cutting Force of Will against this deck. I don't mind cutting Thoughtseize, 1 Bolt. I think they'll probably have Douthie Voidwalker, which is a tough card to beat. We definitely want From the Catacombs, as funny as that seems. And then I think they'll try to fight me with Hydroblast. So I'll go 1 Badlands, 1 Kolgon's Command out. And yeah, we'll just really focus on fighting the board. Their threats snowball very quickly. And if they don't, they're often very large, like Netherglyph or Murktide Regent. Alright, Waterlogged Teachings coming in big. Giving me that keep. An otherwise sketchy situation. If they Thoughtseize me, though. That might not be good. They have a Ponder. I'm glad they're not on board. No shuffle. I mean, I still wouldn't mind drawing a land. Cool. I'll also Ponder. Yes. That's pretty darn good. Thoughtseize early and often. Force a Will more early and more often. I just don't want to have to contend with Kaito on turn 3. I think Thoughtseize will stop that. I might not need Force. We'll see. I mean, if they just pass the turn with 2 mana held up, we might have to force Bowmasters. They're going to Brainstorm. That is a relief. Netherglyph. It's big. I have an Edict. Not much else. I don't think I would care if they daze my Thoughtseize. I'm going to Brainstorm so I can put that Force in hand. That's going to be important. I think Red Blast will also be important. And I don't want them to get more on board. I mean, if they daze, they can't Kaito. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Brazen Borrower might be worse than Waterlogged Teachings here. And I feel like you just never should shuffle away Bowmasters. Ah, man. Could be a really good spot for Nimble Obstructionist. There could be. There really could be. Alright, let's just assume that I can't afford to spend 2 cards on one of theirs, since Kaito doesn't really line up against Force of Will anyways. And then, yeah, I think I'm putting back Brazen Borrower. Maybe that's insane, though. No, I don't think it is. Get a Swamp. Thoughtseize you. Okay. That is acceptable. Not trying to deal with Kaito next turn. But I am disappointed at how many dazes I've validated. I wonder if they're going to take the Edict here. Like, which of these cards do they really care about the most? Bowmasters? Fascinating. Thoughtseize me again. This one will probably take the Edict. Yep. They're trying to do me in. 3 cards left. I really don't want to lose to this Netherglyph. But if they get another one, I don't know if I'll survive. Alright, cast Brainstorm. Fatal Push is not bad. Not drawing a Lond Zanel is bad. I wanted a Lond. Waterlogged Teachings is technically a Lond. Let's hide Bowmasters, because I think I might be at that stage where I want to Red Blast with less prejudice. Like right now? No, that's silly. I wish I had a Cling to Dust right now. Some way to really grind. If they wasteland me right now, I'll play out Inundated Archive. If they don't, I think I'm more inclined to hold up Nimble Obstructionist to counter a Wasteland activation. Draw the Bowmasters. They're really on the tank, in the tank on this Brainstorm. Hopefully because they're not in good shape, and not because they have a world of possibilities. It does feel pretty silly to Red Blast a Brainstorm when they have Murktide and Kaito. Possibly Tamio. If they're gated on mana here, there's a lot of things we don't need to worry about. Fetch lane, go. They know about the Nimble Obstructionist. Are they going to try and bait me into using it? Seems like they're fine. Nile Spellbomb is fine. Pass. Huh. Alright. I guess they're fine just drawing through the Brainstorm, but they're not doing anything. It's hard to say, really, what the deal is. I get a new card next turn. If I ever tap out at all, they get their 3rd land. I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's bad for me. Like, I can just make more land drops. I can hardcast Waterlogged Teachings. I wonder if that would be any good. They're exposing Bowmasters, which seems kind of crazy. Maybe they're making the move on Kaito here. Alright, play Bowmasters. I'm tapped out of Obstructionist. They can move on that now. They can also escape Nethergoyf. Gonna block this army, and they'll happily trade. Now we'll likely see Nethergoyf enter, which is not good. It's like virtual card advantage, you know? Oh, they have Barragoyf? What's on the horizon? Cling to Dust. I do want that. I need to counter this, though. I think I'm pitching Waterlogged Teachings. Kaito would be even better. Like, this would be a great moment for Kaito. That's okay. Yeah, just pass. Let's cling. They only have 2 lands, even though I'd prefer them to draw that most of all. Sure, let's do that. Edict is nice. Kaito! More Bowmasters. Also good. What's in their hand, I wonder? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That is a card they would have. See if they move on the Spell Bomb. Still no. Alright, well, I'm gonna cling the Delta then. Don't want Nethergoyf escaping. Oh wow, they just cast that as soon as I clicked the 5th card. Guess that's one of the ease of life things. They have days. I gotta be careful for that, because I'm used to, you know, usually you select the 5 cards and then hit OK. Thoughtseize, you got it. And we know they still have one of the... Yeah, one of their cards in hand is a land. I did not side in Spellbomb. I don't feel like it fights the board hard enough. Maybe that was a mistake, though. Like, Murktide Region is scary. Nethergoyf is an ongoing problem. They take Edict. Maybe I should just race now? Maybe I should. Land. Nethergoyf. 1 mana up over there. No revolt available. Alright, we're in there. Nice draw. Maybe a Kaito will show up now. Yep. Goddamn. We'll hide that Snapcaster Mage on top. Kaito is in. Now they're at 8. Tap down Nethergoyf. Nice. Hopefully I can draw some cards next turn. Black. What's this? Talthy Voidwalker? Oh, Shieldred's Edict? Yeah. Not every trade is glorious. Another Nethergoyf? This is what I was talking about. What was after that? I don't remember. Why can't I remember? It might have been another cantrip. Can I afford to take 4? What if they put in Kaito? I would probably stifle. I think I'm taking 4. Kaito. I mean, if I stifle this, I kind of want them to draw cards though, don't I? Play Bowmasters. Ping there. Fatal Push. Okay. So their last card is Nethergoyf. That means I can get Nimble Obstructionist in right now. If they want to play that out, they already played a land, so they would go to 6. I just need to find a lightning bolt. I sighted one out, which is rough, but why do I feel like I can find one? Snap brainstorm. I mean, they go top. Hope they didn't find fatal push. Damn it. I mean, I think bolt still does it, right? Bolt, snap, bolt. Brainstorm. Okay, do that. There we go. Not crazy, right? Their last card's Netherglyph. Bolt. Snap. Bolt. Got there. Whew. Real close one. It always is against blue-black tempo, but I feel like if you just take a deep breath and fight the board. Oh, man. I don't know if I have a trophy match in me, but I gotta go for it. All right, I procrastinated this long enough. Well, let's jump in there. I'm on the play with a Thoughtseize. The lands lack something to be desired, I will say. Double basic swamp is not the greatest. It looks like we're up against blue-white control of some kind. Okay, I think I can do this. Let's take Jace. Not sure how many of those they'll have in the deck, and it's probably difficult for them to recur. That being said, Snapcaster Mage hitting Ponder is a pretty big win. If I can get them to use Swords to Plowshares on like a Bowmasters or something, that's pretty big game. Flooded Strand. How important are the red cards right now? Alternatively, what if they're playing something like Back to Basics? I might even be able to cut them off white entirely. Like, what if I just poach this land here and draw a card? Would that be the worst thing? It's aggressive. There's Bowmasters. Okay, they do have an additional white source, it seems. I didn't really think that would work, honestly. But I am up a card now, which is good. Yeah, we'll go for Kaito. It's very difficult for their deck to beat it. And Narset's not bad either. In fact, it's pretty good. Big Narset fan. I'm sensing Back to Basics a little bit here. Alright, play Bowmasters. That's in. And now we'll attack. I'm going to take my Bowmasters back. Nice big hit for 4. I do really want to keep this Narset. And putting Strix in the yard does give me something to do with a potential Kolaghan's command. And it's not... Sometimes you don't always get to do stuff with that. I'll let Brainstorm resolve. Could have poached that with Bowmasters, but I kind of like being cagey with the Bowmasters. Okay, that was a pretty easy game 1. Easier than expected. I need water. There's a few things at play. I think if my opponent was also playing for a trophy, they probably would not have conceded there. I think there was just more fight to be had if there was a lot at stake. But I can't really let that influence my mental. You don't even want to give them one game. And I like being on the draw. Being up a card in this matchup is it's really great. I wonder if there's a game 3, should I take the draw? No, I think it works out for us either way. Being either on the play or the draw has its ups and downs. I don't think I would volunteer away being on the play because of cards like Tamio, Narset, Teferi, Jace, you know. A lot of good stuff. But what do I cut? Maybe I don't need from the catacombs. It might be a liability. But it might be really good too. I think it might be really good too. Oh, bolt. Oh, but I think they play Stoneblade. Maybe we can trim one. Because it is one of our weaker cards. And then how about, I don't know. It could be Tameo. How about from the catacombs? Like if this isn't even a Stoneblade deck. Or how about a Force of Will? In the past, we used to side out like all the Force of Wills, but I mean, we can't let them run away with a game with like a Jace or anything like that. They might even be threatening something like Days Undoing, Narset. It's hard to say. This hand is considerably weaker to Back to Basics, but I feel like they should be siding those out. We'll play around it anyways. It's pretty free to get a basic swamp here. Thoughtseize you. Fire Magic is a pretty good answer to Bowmasters. Let's take Narset, even though they don't have the mana to cast it yet. It's by far the best card there. 2 Force of Wills, a Snapcaster Mage. I feel like they really don't want to get a mountain off that Prismatic Vista either. I think they'd pretty much in all scenarios prefer to get a Plains. Counterbalance. Well, that's going to make things difficult. Damn it. Okay. Things just got pretty weird. I will say they don't play like tons of 2-drops. Well, here's step 1. Teferi's on top. That means they might shuffle if there's not a land beyond that. Force Pitch Force. Well, that deals with those. They do shuffle. They missed the land drop. Alright. We might have too many lands. Okay. I don't want these Bowmasters to get countered. Let me see what's on top of your deck. A 2-drop. Okay, I'm glad I did that. Let's surveil. I got the GG. I'm not sure if I really deserved that, but I also entirely get just kind of being like, things aren't going very well. Yeah, damn. Really thought this was going to be the week, folks. The streak continues, and this time I should go back and look, but it does feel like we didn't really mulligan that much. There definitely is something to having an auxiliary land in the deck. Like against Blue-Black Tempo, our game 2 keep was basic Mountain Waterlogged Teachings, which to be fair is still kind of sketchy because Wasteland can really hamper your ability to effectively play that game. But we didn't mulligan, and keeping as many cards as you can against Blue-Black Tempo is very good. So I'll consider that a win. Just throw it another card onto the pile of cards I'm considering for my 75 at Eternal Weekend. Ah, man. I'm in shock. Not in a gloating kind of way or anything like that. It's also really cool to be in virtual third place. It's a 3-way tie for third with my friends Souza and Michael, so that's really cool. Grixis Control, what can I say? It's an art, not a science. And it's also black to get the job done, blue to get it done right, and red to get it done fast. Baby. Oh, I know the last match, like, opponent probably just threw in the towel and wasn't feeling up to the grind, but I think I'm pretty solid at playing against Counterbalance these days. The one upside of Counterbalance, I feel like, is that it gives up a lot of information. You can often anticipate what your opponent's going to draw. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Like out of Delver, Counterbalance is like, cool, I have full information, but I'm getting beat down by a 3-power creature, and it doesn't matter as much. But in the Control Mirror, Counterbalance is very interesting. Ah, man, I feel like I'm not even saying anything very relevant. I'm just kind of shocked. I'll leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, please. Tune in next week for another trophy, I guess. All right. I'll see y'all next time. Oh yeah, Spider-Man is coming out next week, but I have nothing on the docket for a release week video because I didn't really look at the spoilers. A lot of stuff's been happening lately, but yeah, it might be a release week video. It might just be more Eternal Weekend testing. We'll see. Okay, take care. I'll see you.